how do we build test cases on that. And this session is also part of our MOU with the Oak Systems Private Limited, Bangalore, where I was associated with them and I used to give a training on different aspects on object-oriented testing, right, in various companies before a part of their activities and all, right? Thanks to Oak Systems, right, being associated with us, guiding us to do different aspects and all, right? Now let's get into the second part of model-based testing. As we understand the model, right, already there are different models that we get into. We talk about the data models, we talk about the behavioral model, we talk about the interaction model, right? So what we do is, okay, the model represents a reality, right? Is a representative of the reality, right? Which basically helps the analyst, the designer, the implementer to understand what is that you are going to do, right, before you build it, right? And you all people know about that, right? This is part of that thing which I've taken it from your textbook, UML, right? You all have studied, right? You have a concept of an use case model. We talk about that. The perspective of the use case model is to understand the whole system from the perspective of the system functionality, right? The use case model, okay, represents the system functionality, whereas the state diagram, which already we have seen it, that represent the behavioral aspect. A given input, a given a condition, given a state, given a condition, given input, how do system behaves? Okay, that we have already seen it, right? So let me try to explore about this particular thing with an example, right? So this is taken from your textbook, right, where you understand what is the use case diagram, right? You have an actor that represents like a person or a device or a software or anything which provides an input to the system which you are going to build, okay, that is being represented with this boundary, the rectangle, whatever that you say. The whole chip inside that one that represents the use cases. They are nothing but the functionality of the system, right? So this is how we perceive the whole system, right? There are different examples that you already gone through. But what is more important for us is, right, now pick one particular example and try to understand how do we build okay, test cases, right? Uh, please look into that. All these things you have already seen in your core study, object-oriented analysis and design. Now let's look into one such example, okay, withdrawal of money. Withdraw is a use case. See, every use case, right, we write activity diagram or we build, okay, multiple scenarios on that. And every scenario which makes the collection of scenario that makes a use case, we call as a, okay, basic flow and alternate flows. Now, for example, now consider here, right, in this case, a withdrawal of money. Okay, the basic flow, what we call is a successful use case where you begin, right, you end successfully. And there are many alternatives, okay, because of which, right, the use case fails, right? They're all we call as an alternate flow. For example, okay, let me begin here, right? You get into the ATM, okay, machine, right, and you insert a card, and the moment you insert the card, it may so happen that the card is stolen. The card is stolen, right? The end of the use case, right? Probably card is not ejected and it is reported to the nearest police station, bank and all, card is stolen, right? Now look at the other alternative. That you have inserted a card, the card is expired. Then you have another alternative, probably, which are not shown here, right? It's just a representative, right? The use case terminates, saying that one, okay, the card is not ejected, saying that, okay, you need to replace the card. Now assume that card you have inserted, the card is okay, right? You put a pin and okay, pin is incorrect. Then again, the use case may terminate. Here, look at that alternate flow, or it may ask you for okay, one more try with the pin. So try one, try two, try three, what all the possible tries people have perceived, right? So please look into that. So now again, look into, I request all the people to mute their mic so that things can go good. Now consider the other alternatives, right? You inserted a card, pin is okay, right? You have entered the money, say 10,000 rupees, right? And in your account, 10,000 is not there, only 5,000. The use case terminates. You inserted a card, entered a PIN, entered a money, 10,000. 10,000 is there in your account. It's a valid money, right? But 10,000 rupees is not there in the ATM machine itself. Then also the use case terminates, right? So these are all alternative flow we call as a scenario, right? So multiple scenario, all possible scenario makes a test case, right? In each scenario, okay, for each scenario, you need to identify, right, the different object that participate and try to, okay, write using a diagram. That is another kind of a model, right? We call as a sequence diagram. Got it? So hope that you people have understood how do you perceive every use case. Probably this will help you in doing better in your main project, right? So every project should begin, I mean, with architecture diagram. Of course, there is a requirement. When you get into the design, you have an architecture diagram, then you have to get into the use case. Then you have to get into the scenario for every use case. For every scenario, you need to write a sequence diagram. For every sequence diagram, you need to write a test cases. Then you have a different design perspective, UI design, data models, data flow diagrams, ER diagrams, right? They are different, the perspective of the design you have to get into, but a specific flow in which you need to cover, right? I hope that one things are clear for you people. You have any question at this particular stage? Then we will get into, right, sequence diagram. Then we will show how a test case is being built. Any question at this stage? So every use case you need to represent in the form of the, right, the basic flow and alternate flow. Could be the textual version, or it could be a diagrammatic representation of that by naming properly the basic flow and alternate flow. And basic flow is always, right, successful scenario. The use case is successful. Got it? Right? And every alternate flow, right, is an alternate. It may be a failure, or it may be you will be having different versions of success that can be also be presented. And please note that yellow patch, what I have written on the screen, right? For each scenario, the interaction diagram and test cases are to be built, and it is mandatory for your project, right? If at all you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. Rashmi Adhanikar can read. Otherwise, I'll proceed with that. Right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Right. Now look into this, right? The same, the basic flow and alternate flow, I scripted in, okay, the name I attached. Basic flow, successful cash withdrawal. Flow number 2 could be ATM out of money. Flow number 3 is insufficient funds in ATM. Okay, flow number 4 is incorrect pin, try 2 left. Incorrect pin, try 1 left. Incorrect pin, try 0 left, right? Then money is not there in your bank account, right? Then the money is there, but whatever you are requested, that much of money is not there in your account and all. These are all, okay, possible, okay, scenario which you need to visualize for a given use case, right? Until unless you visualize all these things, we use a term called, okay, it is not complete. There are, okay, two important terms we use for the quality assessment of quality of any design, object-oriented design. One is sufficiency and other one is completeness. Sufficiency is what, okay, we understand is that when in a given situation is all right, but when you look at the product, generic product, it may not be complete one, right? Please look into all these aspects, right? This is how you can perceive, okay, an academic representation, but not a project report, okay, format, right? That's what I said. Complete all this list in a proper order and all. And this is a visualization of a use case. Just a minute. Okay, there is a call for me. I'll mute and I'll come back. So I'm back here. There was an important call from the office of the principal. I need to attend. I'm sorry for that. Right. Okay, now having visualized all possible scenarios, now let's get into the details of that. How do you picturize this, right? So you go for the sequence diagram. This is the model which we are referring now today, right? You can consider today's session as test case, building a test case based on use case as well as sequence diagram, because sequence diagram, a particular sequence diagram represents a particular scenario, and the collection of such scenario makes the use cases, and that's how we refer it as a model based testing, a part 2. Now look at that. We have a use case withdrawal and a scenario within that. You can number it as an flow number, basic flow, flow number 1, basic flow, successful cash withdrawal. So what is the perspective of the sequence diagram? The perspective of the sequence diagram is to know for a given scenario what all the object they participate in that, and how do they interact with each other, in what order they interact. This is the basic design principle or the perspective of a sequence diagram. Why do you build it? And sequence diagram is a very popular tool used to in network protocols, right? You can use sequence diagram to communicate a lot of scenarios as a part of your project also, because it is a very easy, the best way you can communicate rather than the textual representation of a particular scenario. Well, let's look into that. Right here, a customer is a actor, card reader, ATM screen, account, cash dispenser. Probably in your textbook you might have used different format, right? They're all object. Please remember, when I say an object, don't misunderstand this, that the program is running. Object and class, they are interchangeable during explanation, right? These are objects, and a vertical line, whatever you see, they're called lifeline. Probably you might have gone through all these things. So what you do is you insert the card, number 1, first step. Then card details are read, step number 2, right? Screen is initialized. ATM screen is also an object. Third step. Fourth step, a prompt for the pin. Fifth one, enter pin. I've merged all the things, saying that 1, 2, 3, max 3 tries, whatever that is there. Then open an account, then verify the pin. Who will verify? Account will verify, right? Then look into that. The account will ask pin is, say that pin is okay to the ATM screen. Then ATM screen prompt for the transaction. Step number 10 is select the specific transaction. Here it is a withdrawal, right? Then ATM screen will prompt for the amount, and you enter the amount. The withdraw fund, enter the amount, say 15,000. You enter withdraw fund. It will verify the fund, deduct the fund, provide the cash to the cash dispenser, and provide the receipt. And cash dispenser will eject the ask the card reader eject it after it has dispensed all the money and receipt. Please understand that this is the way of representing every scenario, right? Please understand that there is a clarity in this one. Please remember, without the clarity, right, you cannot do programming. This is a part of the design. Hope you all people have understand the withdrawal of the money and all these things. It's a common thing. That's why I have selected this, right? In a different domain, things may be complex things and all. So you need to understand, build all these things. Now, having built this, how does it helps? It helps in the design, right? It helps in, right, design of the subsequent things, right? It helps in testing, right? Now this is a part of the design. Now how does it helps in testing? So I'll take you now to the last part of my presentation, right? How do we build test cases based on this sequence diagram for the given scenario, right? I'll take in a small part of that. Let's look into that. See, when you build a test case as a part of the design before the code is being written, right? In the part of the design phase, test case design we say, UI design we say, right? Yes. Now look at that, right? Scenario, whatever the scenario number you are given, right? Same scenario you will be using here, right? S1, I called it as S1 here. Successful cash dispenser, withdrawal, right? Then all the variables you call in programming, or in general will say all the parameters that are required in order to make the successful cash withdrawal scenario, right? You need to write it, or all possible, the parameter required for all, scenario, right? A basic flow and alternate flow of the given scenario, right? You need to write it. So we need a pin, we need account number, we need amount entered, you need an amount in account, you need amount in ATM. These are the things. And last column is expected result. Now here V indicates valid, I indicates invalid. So some number, valid number, probably in software testing, you are going through all the things, equivalence, partitioning and all, right? There may be several valid value for the amount entered, 50 rupees. Why not 50? Why not take 51? Why not take 52? One representation of a particular class, particular partition, right? So we pick it one representative and write it here. So PIN number is valid, ensure that. Account number is valid. Okay, amount entered is valid. Amount in account is valid. Amount in ATM is also valid, valid money, representing a one representative of value from a valid partition. Then the kind of, the output that you are supposed to get on the screen, the message, say M1, say message M1, successful cash withdrawal. So when you script it, when a program is ready, okay, now design is ready, test case design is ready. So when you write a code and give a class to this one, I'll apply all these things to that. I write a script, I apply all these things to that and ensure that I get this particular message on the screen. Then the code, whatever you are written is correct. Now for me, that class, whatever that you are written, given to me is a black box for me. I don't know what is that you are written. Probably the black box and the white box or glass box things you might have studied that, right? And different kind of testing strategies you might have gone through. So I'm not checking here a condition. I'm not checking here, okay, the if then else kind of things. So, okay, internal part I'm not checking, right? This particular scenario, right, whether the code, right, is written to take care of this properly or not. Maybe as a part of an agile practice, you have studied in software engineering, right? Okay, test-driven development also we say, right? I write a code to ensure that this test case is taken care. I write the code to ensure that test case number 2 is taken care. So collectively, when I write it, that one, all test cases are taken care, hence the scenario, hence my use case. Okay, probably Rashmi Athanikar might have touched upon okay, TDD, test driven okay, development or the design, whatever, test design, okay, design or development, whatever it is, right? Yes. Maybe in agile practice also, what we do is, okay, we create a story, right? We need to quickly develop certain things. We take this test case, accordingly write the code, and this test case number 1 is taken care of. We release it. Test case number 2, that also we'll add it. So we feel that quickly things are being moved, right? Look at the second okay, test case, ATM out of money. For every flow, you should have a minimum 1 test case. If at all required more, you need to look into that. What is the optimal test cases, minimum number of test cases that is required? You need to check it. Unnecessary testing, you should not do it, right? ATM out of money, right? Now what I'll do is ATM in amount in ATM, I make it as invalid. Literally, I'll go to that particular class, set that value, okay, 0 and remaining all valid, and I'll check that one, what kind of message that I get it when I run the program. I should get a message, cash withdrawal option unavailable, right? The moment you wanted to withdraw the money, you get into put the ATM card. There are menu. When you look at the menu, the withdrawal use case doesn't appear at all. It's a disabled automatically because, right, the amount is not there in ATM. So pressing, now look at that, the user experience. You people might have gone through that. Sorry, for fifth sem we have done it. For you people also we will do it. User experience. Rashmi Athanikar, please note down. So we will arrange a session for these people also.
Yes, sir. Sure.
From industry.
Yes, sir. I'm noting it down. Yes.
Right. Right. Now what happens is, this is the bad programming, I'll tell you, right? So when money is not there in ATM, right, still withdrawal button is enabled. You click it, you enter amount required, everything, and at the end of that particular sequence of operation, it says money is not there in the ATM. Ariyar, why did you wait till all activities I did it? Right? So this is the best way of doing that one. If a money is not there, disable, right, withdrawal option. That's what is required. So you check that one, disable, the withdrawal option is disabled or not, right? That's, hope you people are understanding what is that I'm saying. Insufficient funds in ATM out of money. insufficient funds in ATM. That means you wanted to withdraw, right, 100 rupees. In your account, 500 rupees is there, but in ATM, only 70 rupees is there. It cannot cater to your requirements. So in that case, what happens? The moment you enter the 100 rupees, what it says, it gives a warning message, whatever the warning message, I'll put in a single quote, whatever that is there. But it should be professionally designed warning message, which will educate the user, right, what actually it will be happening. And that is called quality of the error message design, right? Return to flow number so and so. Again, saying that when I enter the amount, the money available here, not sufficient money available to withdraw 100 rupees, you enter anything less than 70 rupees. Less than 70 rupees. You should educate the user what is the correct next input that you have to give it. If you don't do that one, your error messages are not good. Okay, they are not properly designed, right? Then getting into, right, similarly, right, scenario is incorrect pin, greater than 1 left, incorrect pin, 1 try left, incorrect pin, 0 left. Appropriate message you need to get it. Incorrect pin, right, incorrect pin is invalid, right? When a pin is invalid, it doesn't matter the remaining parameter, they are valid or invalid, they are redundant. The moment you put a card, right, card is okay, then pin, you type a pin is incorrect, it doesn't matter whether things are there or not, other things. Just a minute, I got a call, I need to attend that. I'm back here. Okay, I have some important calls I need to take even if I'm taking a class, because I'm an head of the department. There are many calls, I receive it, I need to attend. Sorry for the interruption. Right. So incorrect pin, right? Incorrect pin, right? Please look into that. When you are typing this, other parameter doesn't matter whether they are valid or invalid. Say amount in the ATM is invalid, but still why it is asking incorrect pin and all. Probably you may not be withdrawing. You wanted to credit the money, or you want to transfer the money, or you wanted to change your pin for all purpose, right? So they are all redundant one, which doesn't make sense at all. So rather than that, you can put a cross mark there rather than V or I, saying that whether they're valid or invalid doesn't matter for this. Correct. Right. But in this case, right, now look at that, right? So we have developed the 6 test cases. Now based on whatever the alternate flow, basic flow and alternate flow scenario you identified, for every scenario you should have one test case. And there is one more thing, right? Coverage. Probably in your software testing, you might have gone through that. Okay, code coverage, path coverage, condition coverage, decision coverage, kind of things. All those are different aspect for glass box testing. For this is the black box kind of things. What I'm doing is, my scenarios are this, my basic flow and alternate flows are this. For that, all flows are taken care there or not, black box, right? But this particular thing doesn't ensure. It ensures that, right, your requirements are taken care, right? But there are certain part of the code which, right, might not have been exercised. Are you getting this? So that's why a part of a white box test where you go for path coverage, condition coverage, decision coverage, certain decisions, certain conditions might not have been covered in this when you give an input for this, right? So that's how the combination of the black box and the white box testing will make the things, right, very much, right, robust and very good kind of things. So with this, the model-based testing is over, but some other things I would like to highlight. I'm not going to cover that one. There's a concept called load testing, right? Right. Then you have a concept of, right, the one more is stress testing. Load and test are different, right? For example, when you wanted to stress, put a stress on the product, what is that you do is, say for example, memory, right? Memory, right? 4 GB RAM is required to run your product properly. You reduce it to 2 GB and see that one, how exactly it performs, right? How exactly it performs, right? So you are putting certain constraint on the resources which system, your product makes use of that. Whereas load testing, look at that, right? Again, it is a performance, right? For example, a complete withdrawal transaction you are looking into, okay? Single ATM, through that you do 1000 ATM you put it, 10,000 ATM you put it, this is the load. This is the workload. The stress testing is, right, okay, it is on constraint on resources, you try to put it, right? Whereas this is load testing, right, is something different, right? How does it, the product behaves and all? Simply I'm introducing that one to you so that you people can work on that, right? Okay, you are in fact, okay, enhancing the workload on a particular server or particular module or particular services and all, right? You heard about the multi-threaded server and all. Say that multi-threaded server, how many client can wait at a point of time in socket programming? That fine. What you do is simultaneously 10,000 client make a request, right? How all these requests have been, will be served and all, at what time, right? If at all services to be given within, okay, some specified time, right? Is it acceptable or not? You are looking into that, right? Are you getting this? Right? Time constraints are very important thing here. Okay. Now look at that. When a single ATM is there, a complete withdrawal should happen less than 20 seconds. When 10,000 ATMs, okay, simultaneously, okay, work on that, okay, complete the transaction, that should occur within less than 50 seconds. Will it happen? Will it happen? Right? So that you need to look into. Load test. Load on what? Stress on what? You need to. I'm just introducing that. This is not a part of any, okay, model testing I'm talking today here, right? So with this, we come to the, okay, there are many other things like a security test, access test and all. With this, we come to the end of our today's session. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, I would like to answer to those things. Let me go back to our model today, which we are using sequence diagram. The purpose of this model is, okay, to understand fully the particular scenario in terms of what all the object participate and how do they interact, right? So now my testing based on sequence diagram should try to explore all, right, the scenario, the sequence diagram, one sequence diagram for one scenario, right? And okay, every scenario is very primitive in nature. Collection of sequence diagram makes the use case, right? Okay, let me speak about that. Every part here is a scenario and is complete by itself, right? So any question at this stage? Any
UPK, sir.
question? Please,
Sir, I have a question.
please.
Sir, in the previous session, you had told us about the state diagrams, how we can use them in testing a particular software.
Okay.
So, according to you, sir, which one would be more preferable if I'm testing a particular software, whether I have to go for a sequence diagram or whether it is scenario specific?
No. Okay, it is, the objectives are different. If at all I ask you whether Jeera rice is better or curd rice is better, which one I should use?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll suggest that one. Purpose of the Jeera rice is different.
Yeah.
The purpose of the curd rice is different,
True, sir.
right? Even in our Indian culture, the food habits are there. When you start your lunch or dinner, okay, beginning what to eat? Sweet.
Yeah, sweet.
In between what to eat? Okay, this. And at the end, what to eat? That they have been defined.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. The every model has a certain objectives.
Yes.
Those objectives are tested. There, in a state diagram, a behavioral aspect.
Yeah.
Right? That behavior you have to check it. In a sequence diagram, right? So this is scenario, object interaction, order in which they interact.
Okay.
Both are different.
Okay.
Okay, they are non-comparable.
Okay.
They are non-comparable.
Correct.
Okay. But it may so happen that in my sequence diagram, when I build a test case, some part of those things may be covered, overlapping,
Yeah.
right? But you don't, okay, we cannot ensure it.
Yes.
The objective of testing is not, okay, those things.
Yes.
So every test case has an objective.
Yes.
Every test case has a preparation. Every test case has a procedure, right? And that's what we say test procedures or test scripts and all.
Yes. Yes.
Test procedure is different, test script is different, test
Yes.
case is different.
Yes, sir. The suit is different.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Right?
Sir, one more thing. You were talking about load testing and stress testing. Are they interrelated with each other? Because stress can be tested with the help of load, the way you give the load to the software.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Basically, okay, the very thin difference that you find.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Look at that. In load test, I don't talk about the resource constraint here, right? But you can argue and debate. Okay, when I increase number of ATM, will it not be a resource and all?
Okay.
Right? So what I'm doing is, okay, one client, I make 100 client. This is the workload.
Okay, sir.
This is a workload.
Yes,
of
sir.
course, workload has a pressure. You say that one,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
That pressure, the stress is different. Here, the stress is, right? See, I'll be running my product in normal condition for 4 GB RAM,
Yeah.
right? Now, what I'll do is I shrink this.
Yes.
I'll make it 2 GB. How does it happen?
Yes.
Right? Now, database logs 2 ATM requesting same account.
Yes, sir.
This is a shrinked mode of facilities. Bank system communication is unavailable.
Okay.
Bank communication is terminated during the transaction in between. How does it do?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to clearly use your wisdom, clearly distinguish between the stress. Stress is always in terms of resource, right? Whatever it is, normally it is planned, try to shrink it. How does, right, the performance degrades?
Yeah.
Does. For example, you are doing a bank transaction.
Yes.
Withdrawal of the money.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
See, for example, right, amount is successful and ATM is giving the money, you are withdrawing 10,000 rupees, 5,000 it has dispensed, and then 5,000 is about to dispense that one, okay, something fails. Something fails.
Yes.
What happens? Something fails, right? So how to, that software written there, remember those state, right, and continue. Right, once this one, or undo that particular part in your transaction, whatever it has dispensed, only it will take that much remaining. What is the requirement? If it happens, what you expect a system to behave? Write it.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you need to understand these things, right?
Sir, are they contributing to the scalability attribute?
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Scalability. Both of them are contributing to the scalability attribute.
Naturally. Depending on workload, what is that you are testing? What kind of workload?
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Sir, one student named Sharath, she is asking one question. What is greater than 1? Left is equal to 1 and left is less than 0 in test case of incorrect pin in ATM test case.
Which test case ID?
Sir, the slide wherein you are showing the test cases for incorrect pin.
Incorrect pin, right? The scenario is the pin which I am right now entering is incorrect and one additional try is left. Even if it is incorrect, one additional try is left. Now look at that. Incorrect, greater than 1, okay, left. Greater than 1. That means 2, 3, whatever that is there. Attempts. Right? Incorrect pin. I am entering incorrect now, but only one try is left.
Yes.
Right? Now incorrect pin I am entering now. Okay, zeros, okay, tries are left. In that case, how does it respond?
Okay.
How does it respond? I don't have any try, but still I'm trying it. Okay. What it should do? Card is retained. Look at that. Card is retained.
Okay.
You are permitted to follow, but the tries, there are no tries you are making an attempt. Probably that may be the kind of a cheating that some people are doing it. This.
Okay, sir.
Under all that circumstance, okay, how does it behave? You need to try,
Oh, oh. Okay, sir.
right?
Yes.
Probably your card is retained and it is blocked and all. You need to go to your bank and get it cleared.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else?
Yes. Any questions for anybody in the group? If any questions are there, please post in the chat box so that I can ask the sir. Okay. Any doubts? If there are no doubts, also please let us know about it. Okay. Ujjwal Anand? Ujjwal Anand? Yes, any doubts, Ujjwal? Yes, with respect to today's discussion. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ujjwal?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
audible now. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. No doubt.
No doubts. Fine. What about Sunil? Sunil Hegde? Sunil Hegde, are you there? Shreyas Torgalmat? Shreyas? Jyoti, you want to ask something? Jyoti Pota?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, any doubts, Jyoti?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good, good. Sir, I think all are okay with the things that you have told us today in the session.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Sir, I formally thank you for enriching our knowledge with respect to model-based testing using sequence diagrams, sir. It was really a good session today. We could learn so many things using how to use the use cases and sequence diagrams in testing a particular software. So, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes, sir, for spending time with us today, even in your busy schedule. Thank you so much, sir, once again, on behalf of my students and as well as from my side as well. Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
yes,
Bye.
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. I request students to fill up the feedback form. I have given you the link. Please fill up the form. Session.